three-dimension theory of leadership. If your actions inspire others to dream more, learn more, do more, and become more, you are a leader. John Quincy Adams declared these words on the issue of leadership. My name is Mark Gonzalez, and in my extracurricular endeavors as an academic and athletic team member, I have gained experience as a leader and as a subordinate. Although I have noticed that different people utilize dissimilar styles of headship, all effective leaders share one common trait, the ability to inspire. An individual who understands the appropriate time and place to implement the various methods of leadership will attain success in the business realm. For this reason, it is important to determine whether a person's approach to management is autocratic, democratic, or laissez-faire. In your business career, you may find it necessary to practice the autocratic style of leadership. As its name suggests, being an autocratic manager entails utilization of recourse within the organization or group. Essentially, the autocratic leader maintains a great amount of power over his or her subordinates. Diminutive leeway is given to group participation because the leader holds definitive authority in decision-making. This form of leadership is best known for its conventional aspects, including a rigid structure of expectations and consequences. Being the oldest and most familiar technique of directing a group of people, autocratic headship has received much criticism from modern-day business analysts. The status quo has certainly endorsed a prejudicial depiction of an autocratic manager as someone who is tyrannical or despotic, which is not always the case. Although this style is certainly reminiscent of a dictatorship, it becomes tremendously practical in times of urgency. Proficient autocratic leaders are able to resolve problems more rapidly and accomplish tasks at a quicker pace. This is due to the fact that no time is wasted deliberating the various inputs of others. As the most basic and strongest form of leadership, it is easy for workers to adapt and understand the method of simply following directives. The autocratic leader ensures productivity with limited errors because he or she maintains exclusive control of the events being conducted. An autocratic director would be indispensable in situations where employees display incompetence attributable to lack of knowledge or initiative. However, all of these positive results that transpire under autocratic headship come at a cost. The standard tools employed by autocratic bosses to quell ineptitude are threats and punishment. The creation of a hostile work environment where trust is deficient between employer and employees fosters dissatisfaction. In addition, workers will develop a dependency on their manager, consequently making them ineffective on their own. Indeed, the autocratic style of leadership upholds facets that can either maximize company yield or stifle creativity. A democratic leader's qualities contrast greatly from those of an autocratic leader. The democratic manager uses cohesive teamwork to produce decisions, creating an egalitarian atmosphere. The democratic boss encourages active participation from the members of the group or staff. The practice of open communication is commonplace in projects led by democratic directors because they want as much feedback and input as possible from their employees to make the most utilitarian conclusion. The democratic leader's mission is to unite his or her personnel under a general goal, to enhance the business. This is done in a variety of ways, including constructive criticism and recognition of achievement. Success can only be obtained if information is constantly being relayed between employer and the employees. Also, everyone must have an equal share in the task of the job. No individual should be shouldering more responsibility because this builds unbalance within the system. In this way, employees gain a sense of identity and can acknowledge their contribution to an organization. This promotes individual growth, which is pinnacle in any democracy. There are many benefits to practicing a democratic style of headship. By allowing a follower the opportunity to contribute to a certain activity, commitment to that task at hand is cultivated. This mindset creates a superb problem-solving environment where everyone is motivated to generate advantages for the company. Since employees have a greater responsibility under democratic leaders, they cannot afford to be indolent. Democratic leadership fails when the employees cannot support themselves in a particular assignment. Moreover, Valuable time is spent ascertaining the opinions of others, thus slowing down productivity. The setbacks of being a democratic manager augment with the factors of an unskilled or quarrelsome workforce. Certainly, there are situations in which democratic leadership prevails and stagnates. Leaders who adhere to a laissez-faire style of leadership differ significantly from both autocratic and democratic managers. Laissez-faire, which is French for let it alone, refers to the simple philosophy of abstaining from interference. In this case, the leader takes a hands-off approach in which the team is solely responsible for the completion of various tasks. It is understood that although a leader has been established, the idea of laissez-faire undermines any skills, attributes, or authority that the person retains. Under these circumstances, employees are granted immense freedom in their actions and accountability in their choices. Highly skilled workers thrive in these conditions as creativity is allowed to circulate liberally. An educated employee that takes pride in his or her work will find success under laissez-faire leadership. If a leader can confidently use this style and progress is not being impeded, it is implicit that the employees are notably capable people. Conversely, ineffectual workers who lack the discipline to stay on task need the guidance that is not present in a laissez-faire style of leadership. The business will be thrown into chaos because the leader is not willing to obstruct the actions of his or her employees. Undeniably, there are some instances in which laissez-faire leaders can be effective, and in many others, unproductive. In summation, it is clear that the various styles of leadership can all play a significant role in the success or detriment of a particular business. Autocratic, democratic, and laissez-faire approaches to leadership can be used in a variety of manners to cultivate productivity and accomplishment. Which style suits you? Which will inspire others? To answer these questions, a couple of items need to be taken into consideration. Analyzing the situation is of the utmost importance when it comes to choosing which leadership style you wish to follow. First, the prospective employees need to be taken into account. If they are new, inexperienced, or uncooperative, an autocratic style of headship would suffice. If the workers work well with each other and are adept to establishing good relations and communication, a democratic manager would supplement the business. If the workers are extremely experienced and competent workers, laissez-faire management would be the best choice of leadership style. It is important to remember that as individuals, all employees are different and may be responsive to varying leadership styles, so flexibility is crucial. Second, it is also prudent to take into consideration the underlying values of the company that you are leading. Administrative action should be constantly influenced by customs and practices that the organization was founded upon. Finally, understand that your personality is important in choosing the kind of leadership you choose to be. Your experiences and background will help you decide which style of leadership you are most comfortable with and to what degree to enact the facets of that particular approach. As I stated before, I have familiarity with the techniques of leadership both as a follower and as a leader. Autocratic, democratic, and laissez-faire methods of leading have their pros and cons. Nevertheless, the most significant thing to remember is, if your actions inspire others to dream more, learn more, do more, and become more, you are a leader.